Womp womp. It is finally modern time. God, I have been waiting for modern RCQ season to start for so long. Standard has been fun. I've had a really good time playing standard, but nothing beats just the sweaty, super powered, very strong, very fun things that you can do in modern right now. And I'm very excited because we just got the new ban of Underworld Breach, which you can check out all of my thoughts and opinions on that in my previous video. But it's going to be fun. It's going to be a good time to play modern. The only concern I have is Eldrazi, but we've got some sideboard cards. We've got some things to kind of deal with that to fight against that. So one thing I know people were really hoping and really banking on an unban of Birthing Pod, but I'm just here to show you that you don't need Birthing Pod when you can have Birthing Ritual. So this is a Sultai Birthing Ritual Reanimator sort of kind of mashup deck here. So starting off, obviously, we've got our 4 Fatal Pushes, just a kill spell. Kills just about everything that you care about. Everything 4 CMC or less. There's enough fetches in the deck, as well as 2 Phyrexian Towers as ways to get your Revolt online. So that's kind of a cool little synergy that you get. Stitcher Supplier just gets to do the fun, the mill thing. You get to maybe put an Oculus into the graveyard. You can maybe put a Satoru in the graveyard, a Psychic Frog, an Orcish Bowmaster. There's a lot of good targets in this deck to put into the graveyard. And you can even use like an Unearth, which is our next little 1-drop here. So you can use Unearths to bring back your Stitcher Supplier if you need to try and find some more gas, or if your opponent's running some graveyard hate, you can use the Stitcher Supplier as a way to fill the grave, so you can maybe cast your Oculus. Just different kind of cool play patterns that you can do with that. So that's all of our 1-drops. We've got our Chthonian Nightmare, just in case they can deal with all of our creatures, or they can deal with our birthing rituals, removing it, stuff like that. Just a way to recurrently reanimate stuff, bring stuff back, kind of stockpile some energy if we need it, because the highest CMC creature in our deck is our Flying Eyeball, which we should probably cover. As you know, I am a fan of playing Jeskai Oculus in Standard, so why not play Sultai Oculus in Modern? So as an additional cost, exile 6 cards from your graveyard, flying 5/5 for 3 mana. The beginning of each opponent's upkeep, manifest Dread. So the thing that is really cool and really good with the Oculus and Satoru, or whenever Satoru and or one or more non-token creatures you control enter, if none of them were cast or no mana was spent to cast them, draw a card. So Satoru lets you, one, if it comes back from your graveyard using like an Unearth, if it comes back using Chthonian Nightmare, if it enters through a Birthing Ritual, draws you a card. Same with any other cards that enter that way. But every time you manifest Dread, Satoru triggers and draws you a card, because the manifest is a non-token creature that was not cast or put into play. So that's just a really cool synergy. That might be something I want to maybe try and mess around with in Standard a little bit. Do some like Esper, reanimate, Helping Hand, recommission, Satoru sort of deck. So I might try and see if that's something viable to play. And then if you're in Dimir, you're playing Psychic Frog. It's just too good not to. It's a free discard outlet. It gets your Oculus in the bin. So if you have any Unearths, anything like that, you can bring it back. Easy way to pitch cards, and it just draws you cards, deals damage. I mean, it just sometimes just kills people. You just kind of do the math and say, oh, well, you're dead. Good game. Birthing Ritual, kind of the namesake, the whole kind of premise behind this deck is 1 and a green at the beginning of your end step. If you control a creature, look at the top 7 cards of your library, then you may sacrifice a creature. If you do, you may put a creature with mana value X or less from among those cards onto the battlefield, where X is 1 plus the sacrificed creature's mana value. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. So basically, it's just Birthing Pod at home. So you get to look 7 deep, pick something, sack it, sack a creature you have, get that creature. So this actually pairs very well with like Bloodghast, which is very funny. So Bloodghast, you can use it to get any creature in the deck, sacrifices it, and then you can use your future land drops to just bring the Bloodghast back, and then you can do it next turn and the following turn. So it's just a recurable, repeatable, sacrificable creature. So it's very strong. I ran a league with this deck the other day and went 4-1. So it felt pretty strong. It felt really good. So I'm excited about this. And then obviously Orcish Bowmaster, there's a lot of like card draw, different effects, and also Orcish Bowmaster plus the token it makes lets you get your Stitcher Suppliers or any other card in your deck, which is a pretty cool synergy that you can have there. Same with the Stitcher Supplier. You can go like Stitcher Supplier, sack it, get like a Satoru, or get like a Psychic Frog or a Bowmaster. So there's some really cool synergies. And then a 4 Flare of Malice. Flare of Malice pairs really well with Bloodghast as well as just a free sacrifice creature that makes your opponent sacrifice their Devourer of Destinies. It makes them sacrifice their Flage. It makes them sacrifice their Titans or their Lumras. Like all of these big, scary, nasty threats. It's a clean way to deal with them if you can't kill them with your fatal pushes. Mana base. You've also got 2 Boggart Trawlers here in the mana base. Those, you never cut them. They're lands, except when you need them as creatures, maybe. Graveyard Hate is still good. So, maybe it's might look at swapping that out for some lands, but for right now, the Boggart Trawlers are pretty good. You've got your Surveils, so you've got 1 Mortuary, you've got 1 Undercity Sewers, a couple ways to get your green sources. You've got an Overgrown Tomb in the deck as well. So it's not very hard to cast the Birthing Ritual and to kind of move forward with it and do some crazy stuff with it. So we'll take a quick peek over at the sideboard here. So we've got our Eldrazi hate cards, 4 consigns. If you're running blue, you're running 4 consigns. There's no ifs, ands, or buts, no questions. It's just you have to. If you're not attacking their lands, you've got to attack it on the stack. So that's that. Speaking of attacking their lands, Break the Ice. The deck can make 6 mana. Using a Phyrexian Tower early if you need to, or you can just, if you get to turn 6 and you just hard cast to Break the Ice, or overload to Break the Ice, it's really good. Or early game if they've got something nasty under like an Ugin's Lab, you just kill it, take out the land, slow them down, help you get some time to kind of build up what you're trying to do. So those are mostly just the hate pieces for Eldrazi. A lot of people like to do Damping Sphere. I'm not a huge fan of it. I think Damping Sphere is a lot better against Titan. Because Titan, if you played against Titan, they could just actually lose the game. So if they like Summoner's Pact and don't win, to go find their cards, you play this, and then their lands tap for colorless, so they can't pay the green and 2. Kind of a cool little thing. Also really good against like Storm decks, anything that's trying to play a bunch of stuff. It might even be okay to run against like Energy, just because it taxes their low cost creatures, so they can't go like Guide Pride on turn 2 if you're on the play. Just little things like that. So I think it's a good card. I think it's good to have. I'll probably run like maybe 1 against Eldrazi, but it's really here for like Titan. Toxic Deluge is here for energy. Just kind of poses energy. Just pay 2 life, kill everything. Seems pretty good. And most of the creatures in this deck, like you can get your Psychic Frog up to a 3, Oculus is a 5, and Satoru is a 2/3 as well. So like you'll lose like your Bloodghast, but you just bring it back. You'll lose your Stitcher Supplier, but you want that anyways. So it's just a good overall, all around good card. Hurkyl's Recall. This one is, so there's been a pretty large resurgence of affinity coming back. So like Hurkyl's Recall, just bounce all of your opponent's lands and basically all of your opponent's permanents to hands. Seems like it's a really fun thing to do. Haven't gotten to do it yet, but I think that's kind of where I wanted to be. I'm guessing that this was in obviously for the matchup against Breach, but I'm gonna try and keep it in because I know Affinity is making a comeback. So I'd like to just have like basically just 2 answers: Collector Oof and the Hurkyl's Recall. So slowing them down early, maybe they like dump their hand with a bunch of artifact mana and artifact lands, and then you just go like turn 2 Collector Oof, Collector Ouchie as me and my friends like to call it. Just kind of hose their whole strategy and end their whole game. So, and then Veil of Summers if you're going against like counter spell decks. So if you're going against like the Dimir Murktide, Control, just ways to protect your stuff. Same thing if like Fatal Pushes, any of like the Orzhov stuff. If you've got like a really good hand, you can go like, Veil of Summer on like a Thoughtseize or a Fatal Push or Boggart Trawler, just different things like that where, you just that protection and your spells can't be encountered is pretty useful. And then just a surgical. One surgical is kind of a like clean answer to anything that could give you a problem. You know, anything. It could be against like a flage. It could be, you know, if you've already destroyed a Ugin's Labyrinth, you can surgical the Ugin's Labyrinth. They have like a Myco spawn in the graveyard. You can deal with that. If there's an Oculus in the graveyard, a counter spell. There's just it's just kind of like a what is the worst thing for you at that moment or in your future turns. Like just clear it out of your opponent's deck and just never have to worry about it again. So on that note, we are going to go into a league. We're going to run through the league. The plan is to just post basically each league game, you know, every day. Break it up that way instead of it being one long, like hour and a half, 2 hour plus video. So we're going to just basically go, you know, day by day league, you know, one league game updates and, you know, we'll see the record and talk about it. So we are going to jump into a league here. Can we do it? Can we get the 3-2 to offset the cost of this league? We'll find out soon. We'll keep this hand. This hand lets me do some stuff and some things like a surveil. All right, what do we got? An Aki? You always belong in the bin, brother. Now this sets up a really interesting kind of cool turn where I can like maybe use the Chthonian Nightmare. This is Yogg. Oh, is this Sam combo? Oh boy. Don't like that. Orcish Bowmaster. What is the right way to do this? I want to get this Oculus into play, and in order to be able to do that, I need either blood. Yeah, I think Orcish Bowmaster is probably the best. So we will see what happens. It might not be Sam combo, but I have to guess that our opponent is doing something. Something that's going to make us sad. Trying to figure out maybe their color of mana. Oh, is this a Sam? That is a Sam. Can't do much about that. The Cauldron Familiar, huh? And they're not drawing any cards. They don't have a sack outlet yet. Part of me wants to wait until they get like a sack outlet, but I don't know if it's going to make a difference. Let's just try and do it to them the Aki way. Nightmare, nightmare, nightmare. Sack this, bring this, sack you. The fodder. I'm not really interested in attacking. I'm just going to hope that they don't just kill me like this turn. That is pretty good. They're going to kill me this turn. All right. Well, surgical. I don't even think I want to do. Yeah, I don't even think it's worth it to have the toxic. Let's see. Unearth, Stitchers, pushes are really good. Flares are really strong. Bloodghast. Let's try that. We'll cut a Bowmaster. We'll see if we can beat good old Sam Combo. Start off with a little surveilling. So here we'll go surveil. We'll play the Bloodghast and just hope that everything works out. It's about all we can do. We'll get the blue. We'll get the water Undercity. The sewers. Sewering on them. Undercity. A birthing ritual. I'm going to keep that on top. I don't know if that's the right choice. But I do know I need to leave up this flare. I've got guaranteed land drop next turn, so I can like flare, bring back Bloodghast, use the birthing ritual maybe as a way to find something that pressures my opponent's life. A birthing ritual of your own, huh? Gross and stinky. What if we both did it? Would I like to pay 3 life? Not really. Let us see. Show me the top. Well, a Psychic Frog or a second Bloodghast. Let's just take a Frog. I think Frog has just got to be the best. And then if I need to like flare, I can like flare, unearth it, and be okay enough. But I feel like I'm in a little bit of a stinky spot. Especially if they play like a creature. Not interested in letting them have things for their birthing ritual. But the odds they don't have a creature are pretty low. We'll put this frog in the bin if I have to. I'll hate it. It'll be tough, but I will do it. My opponent will make a decision on what they want to do. Thought seize. Sure. I will not stop you. Took him a long time to figure that out. Flare's probably good. What is the opponent cooking with? Are they cooking with gas? Oh, they're cooking with Sam. Well, I can't kill the Sam. Hit that for me. All right, that's a good start. A flare's pretty good. Let's go attacking. There's no way they block. All right, drawn cards. No land. I guess I could have a land. I think at this point the Trawler's probably not super good. Getting the Bloodghast back would be really strong. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. I could play. Screw it. We'll take the damage. We will bring back our boy. Black and a blue. Play Unifrog. Let's go and lose a Ghast. Make an eye. Now I will, if I must, sacrifice the good old one of the frogs. You got it. 3 in hand. What could they have? If I see anything that's more than 3, I'm definitely just going to Flare. Will they give my Bloodghast haste? No. They're gonna thought. Well, if they thought seize, the Bloodghast does get haste. A young wolf that does not die. An Orcish Bowmaster, huh? I think I'm in the market to force a Sam to be gone. Pinging me. That's fine. That's fine. I'm okay with all of this. Let's force him to sack some lands. Sack a land. Sure. I'm good to put you down on lands. Five, 6, 7, 8. So I can only get in for 8. Is it a goose? It's a seer. Glad I got rid of a Sam. We'll fly the boy. Let's go 1, 2, and a flare. Now the unfortunate part is I can't get this dude back and give him haste. But I think we're in the market to just jam in. So in the end of combat, we will do this. We'll bring back the. I need to remember the order in which to play my spells. So we can go blue, black. So the plan here, the thought here is we're just going to keep putting them down on lands if they really want to keep their guy. And I need to remember the order in which I do my things again. Sure. I can't stop any of that. So now we'll go to the Birthing Ritual step. What is on top? Show me. I don't even know what I'm looking for. Something good. I don't. Oh, well. I've got a Bloodghast. Bloodghast gone. Aki in. So anyways, I'm big ballin'. Big eyeballin'. Let's put a stop in your upkeep. I think I am interested. I don't have anything else that I'm going to be doing. I'd like to just knock out your Orcish Bowmaster. You'd like to go down a land again? Cool. I just don't want you getting 2 pings. I am all here for this. Now I could just lose. That flare would have been really nice to have drawn. Show me another flare. Not a Satoru. Gross. Well, they have to have exactly gas. Oh, they could find Sam here. That would be so unfortunate. They probably found Sam. Son of a bitch. Had it. Had it all. Flew too close to the sun. Oh, well, that was a cool little brew, Sultai Satoru Birthing Ritual. Probably still a little better than Birthing Pod. This is a cool deck. I'm for sure gonna play this again at some point. Was definitely fun. The only issue, the only downside to the deck is just the amount of graveyard hate that there is. It'll really put a dampener on your spirits there of bringing your stuff back. If you're running into a lot of Orzhov, Blink, and stuff like that, it might not be the best deck to play because it just has so much exile removal, so much graveyard exile. But if you don't see a ton of that, or you just want to kind of have a cool deck to play, that I still think is pretty strong, is pretty powerful. Maybe check this one out. So this is our first Modern League post ban of Underworld Breach, and God, did I miss Modern. I am excited to continue to play Modern for the next 3-4 months. Get wrecked by Eldrazi because that's probably what's going to happen, but I'm going to run some control for sure because boy, oh boy, does your boy love control. So we are, we're looking forward to that. But that is all for me. So feel free to like, comment about this video, about the deck, any thoughts that you guys might have, subscribe. Thank you for coming out and checking out the Scryhards here. And that's going to wrap it up. Have a good day.